Constructing growing beds to the standard recognised and encouraged under the Nursery Industry Best Management Practice Program NIASA provides significant benefits in the production of quality containerised nursery stock. Well-designed and correctly installed growing beds improve crop growth and production efficiency and provide the following benefits. Production areas should provide suitable all-weather access to the growing beds, a safe work environment, and limit any potential environmental impacts. The layout and design of the growing beds in any production area will depend on the general slope of the area, soil type, and rainfall volume, intensity, and frequency. Wind exposure should be assessed and managed through the installation of suitable windbreaks and buffers in the production area. The production area and growing beds should be constructed with the current cropping requirements in mind. However, the design should allow for future changes to production, taking the following factors into account. To reduce the risk of pest and disease contamination, growing beds must provide complete separation of the production stock from the underlying soil. Nursery wastewater and overland water flow must be diverted away from production areas, and irrigation wastewater and excess rainwater must drain quickly from the growing beds to prevent the water rising to the level of the container drainage holes. To manage wastewater quickly and efficiently without causing damage to the growing bed surface, initial earthworks are completed to ensure a minimum fall of 1 in 70 is maintained across the entire growing area. Trenches for subsurface drainage are then excavated with a fall of 1 in 100 to allow sufficient flow within the pipes and minimise sediment build-up. Subsurface drains are generally installed in a herringbone pattern, with trenches spaced approximately 10 metres apart over the growing area. As a minimum, drainage systems should be designed and constructed around a 1 in 20-year storm event. Following earthworks, the entire growing bed, including the drainage trenches, is covered with black builder's plastic of a minimum thickness of 200 microns. The builder's plastic should be overlapped sufficiently to ensure wastewater will not escape. The plastic sheeting creates a barrier between the growing bed and the underlying soil, allowing wastewater from irrigation and rainfall to be collected and drained. This prevents wet boggy areas, groundwater contamination, and prevents the gravel or blue metal from sinking into the underlying soil. To ensure efficient removal of wastewater from the growing bed by the subsurface drainage system, slotted ag pipe or slotted PVC pipe with a minimum diameter of 100 mm is laid into the trenches on top of the plastic sheeting. The trenches are then backfilled with 10 to 25 mm blue metal. Slotted ag pipe enclosed in a fabric sock is often used to reduce blockages in subsurface drains. The entire growing bed is covered with a 75 to 100 mm depth of 10 to 25 mm blue metal. The material used must be free draining and contain a minimum of fine particles. Extreme care should be taken to prevent puncturing of the plastic sheeting. Machinery used in construction of the growing bed should only be driven on areas already covered by the full depth of blue metal and not driven over the plastic sheeting. Weed mat is often installed over the growing bed to prevent debris and spilt growing media from production crops contaminating the blue metal. A weed mat covering provides for easy cleanup of the growing bed between production runs, but may lead to increased detailing at picking and dispatch due to growing media splash onto the containers. Weed mat is often used to provide a more stable production surface for smaller sized containers. The irrigation system is generally installed once the gravel has been laid, with laterals and mains from upright sprinkler systems located on top of the blue metal or weed mat surface. If the preference is to have the pipes buried under the gravel, then laterals and mains are installed on top of the plastic sheeting prior to spreading of the blue metal. Upright sprinkler systems require risers to be supported by a stake or picket that passes through the plastic sheeting. The plastic sheeting surrounding the stake or picket must be secured by slightly mounting the base material under the plastic sheeting directly around the stake or picket and sealing the hole with tape to prevent wastewater seeping beneath. Laying irrigation laterals under the plastic sheeting is not recommended, as it often results in future maintenance and repair issues. Growing beds require disinfestation between crops and batches, and it is important that suitable, clear access is provided. Areas adjacent to the growing beds should be designed, constructed and managed to reduce the risk of pest, disease and weed contamination of the crop. Regular hygiene and maintenance programs should be scheduled for the growing beds. Further information on growing bed construction to best management practice can be found in the NIASA Best Management Practice Guidelines and the publication Managing Water in Plant Nurseries. This video has been supported by the Queensland Government Department of Natural Resources and Mines under the Rural Water Use Efficiency Irrigation Futures Initiative. Special thanks go to the following businesses for their assistance in producing this video.